Welcome. Let's discuss the idea of surface area of a prism. Let's consider the following cube, and let's say that we want to figure out how much area do we need in order to cover all the sides of this cube. One way to visualize this is to get this cube and lay it flat in the surface. And now notice that the problem, it's easier to think about, because now we can see that we can just find the area of each of those rectangles individually and add them up at the end. And when we do that, we will be defining the surface area of this cube. The area that surrounds this cube is the same as the area that we get when we lay this cube in a flat surface. And this idea is not just for cubes. It can get extended to other solids. Now let's consider this prism where the base is a hexagon. And we want to find out how much area do we need in order to cover the whole prism. We can apply the same strategy. Let's get this prism and let's lay it flat in the surface. And now that it's down on the surface, then we can find the area of each of those sections individually. Here we have the upper base. Here we have the bottom of the base. And here we have each of the sides that we had in the prism. Now let's fold it back so we get the original prism. And notice that the area that was needed to cover the figure as a prism is the same as the area that we can find when we lay it down in a flat surface. But now we can be strategic with how we're going to add all these sections to define the surface area of a prism. Notice that those sections that are highlighted in red, it was the base of the original prism. And they are congruent. So we can say that the addition of those two bases is the same as doubling just the area of the bottom base. They are congruent to each other. And the region that we create by adding all those sections which are highlighted in green, that's what we define as the lateral area of a prism. It is the surface area without the area of the bases. So to define the surface area, now we can say that is 2 times the area of the base plus the lateral area. And again, the lateral area, it is the area of the sides that surround the figure without taking the base in consideration. Now we have a strategy with how we're going to define the surface area of a prism. It is the area of the base multiplied twice. We have one on the top and we have one on the bottom. And then the area of all the sides that surround this figure on the side. That will be our lateral area. Let's take a look at one example. So given the following prism, let's find the surface area. And previously, we have defined the surface area, which I'm going to denote as SA, as the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. So what we're going to do, we're going to define each one of them individually. Let's concentrate on the area of the base. The base of this prism can be found here at the bottom. Notice that there's no measurement given in there. But we know that that is the same as the base in the top. They are congruent to each other. And notice that the base, it's a trapezoid. And remember that the area of a trapezoid, it is 1/2 times the height times the addition of the base on the top and the base on the bottom. So now that we have a strategy, let's define the area of the base. It is 1/2 times the height. Well, we don't want to consider the height of the prism. We want to just concentrate on the trapezoid. And notice that the height of this trapezoid is given. We have a perpendicular line that connects the upper and the bottom base. We can consider that being the height of the trapezoid. So let's plug that in our formula. And now we need to figure out what's the value of the first and the second base. Well, notice that the first base, that length is given to us, that is 7. So let's plug that in our formula. Plus the second base, which notice that is 15. So let's plug that in. Now let's simplify this expression. And if we plug this as multiplication, and if we put this multiplication in our calculator, that is going to give us 33 centimeters squared. So now we know what's the area of the base. Now let's think about how we can define the lateral area of this figure. Notice that this figure is surrounded by 4 different sections. The section on the left, the front, to the right, and the back. So to define the lateral area, we can find the area of each of those sections individually and add them up. But that's too long of a calculation. A shortcut is to look at the base and find the perimeter of that base, and then we're going to multiply it by the height of the prism. That will give us the same area as if we were to add each one of them individually. So let's find the perimeter. We're going to get 15 plus 4 plus 7 plus 4. And the height of this figure, it's of 11. If we add all these values, that is equivalent to 30. And 30 times 11 is 330. So now that we have defined the lateral area, we have all the information that is needed to define the surface area. That is equivalent to the lateral area, which we found it to be 330, plus 2 times the area of the base, where the area of the base was 33 centimeters. And if we simplify this expression, that's going to give us 396 centimeters squared. So we're done. We have fully defined the surface area of this prism. Hello. If you would like to continue learning about mathematics, you can check out the videos on the left.